Welcome back to another video. In this video we have all three boss fights of Chapter 1 Round 2, so the second quest of Act 7. And the bosses are Rhino, Green Goblin and Venom. So we're starting off with Rhino, which I think is the hardest one of those three. So this guy has a new node called Tantrum. So when the defender is struck by a basic attack, they gain a tantrum charge, and when the defender is knocked down, all tantrum charges are removed. Each of them deals a burst of physical damage equal to 10% of the defender's attack to the attacker. So you basically don't want to knock him down, but you have no other choice because another node is Power Shield, and you can only deal damage with special attacks. But the node Tantrum says that if the defender has Concussion, Disorient, Enervate or Taunt, all charges are removed without causing any damage to us. So basically you want to bring someone with Concussion, Disorient, Enervate or Taunt. But ideally you want Concussion, Disorient or Taunt, because if the opponent has Enervate, you will keep him power locked, and you need to bait out his special attacks, because the only way you can get power from this fight is if Rhino uses his SP1 or SP2, because there's another node called Matador, and if the attacker gains 1 power, if the defender uses a special attack, you gain 1 bar of power. So every time he uses his SP1 or SP2, I gain 1 power. So the last node is Bubble Shield. So each block hit reduces block proficiency by 6%, and after 10 stacks the next attack is unblockable. So you have a little bit reduced block proficiency in this fight, so you want to be careful because Rhino has that unstoppable and you can't really intercept or you will get hit. So my counter for this fight is Guardian, and Guardian has Taunt on his SP1, and that fight is pretty tough, because not because I'm getting hit, because I'm using my SP1 all the time and I'm losing 5% from recoil. So this fight is kind of tough because I have Suicide Masteries. But yeah, I can't do anything about that. So we just bait those SP1s, SP2s. You're gonna see in the end that I have like 3% because I've used so many SP1s, and then I go for an SP2 and finish him. So yeah, it's pretty satisfying with Power Shield damage. So yeah, another counter you can bring is Namor if you don't have any Concussion, Disorient, Enervate or Taunt, because he reflects the damage from the Tantrum charges. And yeah, another pretty good counter is Stark Spidey, who can apply Taunt with his basic attacks, and he's got a lot more damage than Guardian. But yeah, Guardian is such a good character, man. I like this guy so much. His synergy also is with the block proficiency is so useful, especially when they have so much attack. So yeah, he's down to 30% using SP1, and you really gotta get the big crit in the last part of your SP1 with Guardian to get damage. But we use the SP2, massive amount of damage, and yeah, he's down. We soloed that guy. So yeah, it's pretty fun with Power Shield and Matador. But yeah, moving on to the next fight, we have Green Goblin, and this guy, it's either him or Rhino who are the hardest in this quest. So Green Goblin has, so you gain massive power gain in this fight because when when you have more than 33% of max power, so basically 1 bar of power, you gain a power gain passive which raises our combat power rate by 100%. And if we have more than 75% of max power, our power is immediately power drained to 0. So if we are a little bit more above than 2 bars of power, our power is just gone. And yeah, another note, power reserve, so our special attacks consume 50% less power, also Green Goblin's one. So yeah, a little bit annoying with his SP2s, SP1s, because you can't really go in after them. You gotta wait, this is just a long fight. So yeah. The third node is cramping, sorry. So while under the effect of weakness debuff, 10% of the attacker's power is drained every second, and additionally we suffer 25% of the defender's attack as direct damage each time they land a hit. So you don't want to get hit by his SP1 to get the weakness, so just block it. And then another node says that debuff effects last 100% longer, so double the duration of weakness. And yeah, it's a good combination of those two nodes, with the debuff effects lasting longer and the weakness one. So you don't want to really get hit with the SP1, just block it to be safe, because it's tough to evade it. So yeah, unless you bring someone with assisted evade or something like that. But yeah, Abomination is a perfect counter for this, because whenever we have a poison on us, every block hit applies a weakness to the defender, and their attack is reduced by 30% for each weakness. So his SP1 has 4 beams on it, so 4 weakness. We don't really lose that much damage. So I think 1% every SP1 would block. But yeah, he's a pretty good counter in my opinion, because he has so many poisons and Green Goblin can't regen at all. But another good counter for this guy is like someone who can stun lock him, like Stark Spidey, Hulkbuster, because you consume 50% less power. Yeah, you can spam SP1s and just win. But I don't have a Hulkbuster at high rank or Stark Spidey, so I use this guy because he's so good, man. But yeah, I just wanted to challenge as well. Okay, so he's at 17%. We're trying to go build up to our SP2. Or I think I want to bait out. Yeah, I'm baiting out the SP1. There I didn't have poison, so I couldn't apply weakness. We use the SP2. Now we want to be close to him so we can apply poisons every second. Now we use another SP2. Now that we have 2 of those stacks, our poison rate is up. We are unblockable because of the acid burn. Petrify, he's at 1%. And there I just need to throw another SP1 or 1 hit and he's down. Okay, so that's a little bit of a tough fight if you don't have someone to stun lock him. But yeah. So moving on to the last fight. This is by far the easiest fight of this, the easiest boss of this quest. So if you got Doom, this fight you can cheese it with Doom easily if you have him as like a 5-star max sig. It's perfect, because with the no hit mercy node, every time you knock them down they gain a cruelty buff lasting for 10 seconds, and if they have that on, they can crit through block. But it doesn't matter, because with Doom, if you have him at max sig, there's a 100% chance, if you nullify a buff, to apply a shock. So this is just a loop. So if you use a heavy attack, you apply stagger and then you nullify the cruelty, and then it comes back, and you basically stun lock him with heavy attacks in the corner. But yeah, his nodes are Chitinous Thorn, so if the defender has an armor up, with every hit we hit him, it applies a bleed on us, causing 50% of the defender's attack. So yeah, it might be a problem if he starts with an armor up, but if you got a Doom at a 5-star, you might lose like 50-60%, but then you can get to that SP1, nullify the armor, and then stun lock him in the corner. So yeah, if you're unlucky, you just need to go that SP1, it's over. So yeah, that's a pretty easy fight if you haven't got Doom Max Sig. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.